Hey kids, welcome to Unit 1, Lesson 2, Number 4, Java Lab. Much like AP/CSP, at the end of every lesson, we're going to have a test or complete level. And this one has us demonstrating some of the knowledge we've learned over the last couple lessons. Let's take a look and see what we're going to have to do. You have learned that Java programs contain a file with two core components, a class header and a main method. In MyCounsel Java, write the class header and main method. Now, the neat thing in all of our lessons is you're going to get a show me how that's going to tell you exactly how to do it until we really get into some of the further lessons. For this one, I'm going to kind of explain what these are a little more as I write them. So I am going to keep this hidden. But again, you are more than welcome and encouraged to peek if you don't know, because we are still in the learning phase. Let's come up here. Let's delete our comment just in case you forgot. Two little slashes here. And remember, the difference between a forward and a backslash is a comment. So anything I write here is commented out. But if I just take one of these away, it becomes some code. All right, what are we going to do here? Well, the first thing we need to do is we need to write this class header. And we learned from the other lessons that one of the big things of a class header is it has the same name, minus this .java, as our file here. So that's one component I need. The other thing I need is the word public, because we've seen that a lot. What does public mean? We're going to really dive into some lessons a little later. But again, object-oriented program, we're creating objects. Public, just for simplicity's sake, means that they have access to all of these different objects. You're making the access to these objects public so they can see and share information between each other. Public is always written as lowercase p. So remember that. There is a case we're going to use an uppercase p. This is not it. So declare a class header, lowercase public. Then we have to tell it what it is. And remember from that chart, one of the first stepping stones of anything in Java is the class. So we're going to write, again, lowercase class. So we're declaring a public class, and the name of it is MyCounsel. And remember what I told you. Curly braces now. Don't wait till the end. So I'm going to go down here and go all the way to the bottom. Remember to check your curly cues. You can always just highlight it and it will show the opening or closing depending on what you're highlighting. That right there, that's my class header. Now this main method we've talked about a lot, but I really haven't broke it down. And we're going to break it down a little better right now. Really, this part I said you just have to memorize in a couple other videos is public static void main string args. We're going to learn the components of this. Really what this is a main entry point for Java to start compiling. And it's a part of every program we're going to end up doing. In short, the public, again, public access. Static means it's not going to change. Void means it's not going to return. Main is pointing towards the main version. The string in args are tied together. It basically is a string of arrays, meaning there's going to be a bunch of words underneath. This is just a main component of Java. Again, you're going to write it so much, it's going to become secondhand nature. And most actual other IDEs out there, whenever you start a new program, will just dump this information in for you. That's just how common it is. Let's go ahead and write what I just said. Now I'm going to tab over, and here's one other thing I want to say. In Java, it does not matter about spacing. There are a lot of other programming languages out there where the spacing matters a big deal. In Java, it doesn't. I am going to follow pretty closely to the Java standards here, but I kind of have my own little twist, and it might drive some of you crazy, so I'm sorry. Okay, back to our main method. Again, I said we need the word public, lowercase again. There is going to be some instances we need that, but it's best to always lowercase it and remember the rules where we just have to uppercase it. So we got public, and we're again static because it's not changing, void because we're not going to return anything right now, and then main because it's the main part of the program. We're going to put some parentheses here, and we're going to fill something in. We're going to do string uppercase, and we'll learn down the road why that is. It probably has something to do with primitive and non-primitive types. We have to do a little square bracket, args, and then do not forget your curly brace. I'm going to clean this up a little now, just make this look a little better. And there we are. So these are the two big parts of my program, my class and my main method. And these are all the things we've been talking about throughout the last couple of lessons. Before I do the show me how, let's hit run and see if it compiles here. We hit run. Goes to program complete. That's good. Don't forget to run the program because you cannot finish without hitting run, and you need to hit finish in order to get credit. What are the key takeaways from this lesson? Well, it's really the key takeaways from the last couple of lessons. First, we need to have our file name be the same as this thing called the class header. And we learned the class is like the blueprint which we're going to make other objects from. It is declared by using a lowercase public, a lowercase class, because that's what it is. And then again, names are linked. Do not forget your curly cues. After we declare a main class, the other important part of it is this public static void main string args. And this again is a very specific method signature to really start running the application. And this main method represents the entry point for Java, and knowing how to use it correctly is a very important part of it. Really what you need to know is it's the second line right after public class. Again, do not forget your curly cues. And the other important part here, to see what matches, you can highlight it and it'll display the opening or closing part of that tag. And that's it, kids. That's our first little introduction into Java. We're definitely going to dive in a lot more in the next couple of lessons, but this really doesn't get much harder than it is here. Once you understand the overarching concept of object-oriented, it starts to become a little easier. And if it doesn't make sense now, do not worry. We've only done 3 lessons, kids. It'll become much more clear as we move along. Well, hopefully this helped you for today. As always, if you have questions, come see me. Otherwise, I'll see you on the next video. See you later, kids. Bye, bye, bye.